All right, NAI football fans, this is Corey Thorpe with John Cooper back again for a now semifinal edition of the NAIAFBALL live show powered by AdCraft Custom Apparel and Merch, your custom apparel, merch, and uniform experts since 1974. And like their folks, Grandview is still in the game. It seems like they've been in the playoffs since 1974, but thanks to AdCraft for outfitting us and the Grandview Vikings.
Absolutely, Corey. I wore my AdCraft polo the other day for work, and I got some compliments on it. They said it fit me very well. So definitely a big fan of AdCraft. Corey, I feel like our shows get a little shorter, but I also think the games have gotten a little shorter. We only have 2 games to look forward to with semifinal weekend.
That's right. But let's take a look at the week that was last week. We're going to save the best and or worst, depending on your perspective, for last. We're going to start out with Indiana Wesleyan Benedictine, and this one just seemed over really early, even though the score doesn't really show it.
Yeah, even though it was an 11-point margin of victory, Indiana Wesleyan was never not control of this game, and really surprised me. Xander Stokes, have yourself a game. You threw 80 yards in the quarterfinal round, and here you go throwing for 100, more than that, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns, 18 for 25. Indiana Wesleyan was balanced offense and defense. I believe they ate up a good amount of clock. Took care of the ball, unlike their counterparts.
Yeah, we said coming in that we didn't know how Indiana Wesleyan would handle the dual threat nature of Garrett Kettle. I think the answer is pretty doggone well.
Right. 4 interceptions.
And they had another fumble. I believe they had another forced fumble, but got it back, if I remember correctly. But 0 turnovers to 5 turnovers. Usually the team that's got the 5.
The +5 in turnover margin.
Yeah, they're usually the ones that get it done.
It's almost impressive that Benedictine only lost by 11. They end up. I know they were never in the game, but still.
Right.
It should have been way worse.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about a game that was way worse.
Yeah,
Northwestern Marion, that one got out of hand quick, and Marion
was 35-0 at halftime, I believe.
Marion made this game at least look partially respectable.
Right, and it was not, though.
It was definitely not.
It was over at halftime.
It absolutely was. Jalen Gramstad was once again a dude. He is him at this point.
Absolutely. Look at that time of possession
Almost
number.
40 minutes.
You're taking up, majority of the game.
That is absurd. I don't think I've ever seen one outside of like Army that's been that high.
I mean, their offense just, pitched a tent on the field and camped out.
And Marion didn't help that cause, going 1 of 10 on 3rd and 4th down conversions.
Right.
I mean, they only had they didn't have any 4th down attempts. So that's all 3rd downs. You only have 10 3rd downs the entire game. Is just insane at that, and that you only made 1 of them. Had to stay on the field and just couldn't do it. Man, this one, however, was a war.
This was a war of attrition, and what offense could, just score points, and the defenses were just absolutely amazing, especially with forcing some turnovers. Hate it for Lindsey Wilson, but you cannot rely on the kicker.
I hate calling out kickers.
I hate it too,
really
especially
do.
Ian Salter.
For real.
Who's had a heck of a career there.
And to be fair,
yeah,
nobody, and I mean nobody, expected that man to hit the 56.
Yeah, well, maybe he did. Maybe the coaching staff did.
The coaching staff apparently did, but that one was, and I hate it, but that's, and Hamilton was 1 of 3 for Grandview.
Right.
To be completely and totally fair.
You can't not leave it up to the kickers. I'm not a big fan of kickers. I am as far as they're cool people and stuff, but just as an offensive line guy, I don't like coming off the field. Which, granted, you got to take what opportunities you get.
That's true, and this one was really a game of live by the sword, die by the sword, because remember, last week, Lindsey Wilson, with 15 seconds left, wins off of a failed 2-point conversion This week, they get down to the 1 yard line, and they don't have any timeouts left, and they can't get the snap off.
Yeah.
You live by the sword,
it's tough, man.
you die by the sword.
The football is a funny shaped thing. Football games are hard to win, especially playoff games.
Football is hard. And, John, I've been going back and forth on what to say about this one since it came down. I think how I'll start off is we know for a fact that winning a championship takes a massive amount of injury luck.
Staying healthy is one of the most important things an elite football team can do.
And unfortunately, Morningside wasn't able to stay healthy this year. We had heard stories about both Dolenchek and Ryan Cole throughout the week.
Right.
That they had some just gnarly injuries.
And it was apparent in the play of Dolenchek, not a normal game. Really didn't have the arm strength, in my opinion, to really get what needed to be done. But the kid was hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt. And he decided to go out as a warrior.
That man
give his team every chance he had.
Absolutely fought like heck.
I mean, you had a quarterfinal round game where I think they threw for 30 yards?
Something like that.
And, the man comes in there.
He
shows why he was last year's player of the year.
He had to play.
He had to play for them to get a chance. Kaiser's main running back, Burgess, is hurt, I believe, still.
He's got to be, but Meisinger's still right there.
Up production. Credit to Kaiser, though.
What about Kaiser?
They had their rush defense played awesome.
John, I tell you this. Since we've been covering this, I have never, ever seen anyone manhandle Morningside's offensive line like Kaiser did. They were getting all up in Dolenchek's face and fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, credit to Kaiser. Bryce Beasley is not their starting quarterback. They pop out the backup quarterback. If you're on the live stream, you remember me going, oh, this is not good for Kaiser if you're having to trot out the backup quarterback over here.
Oh, they had faith in him. He got the ball out.
And he really did. 17 of 29 was efficient with 226 yards and a touchdown. 14 of 27 on third and fourth down conversions.
Kaiser definitely defended the beach all the way in Iowa. That's their hashtag, Corey. Defend the beach.
And there wasn't even any snow to pretend it was sand.
No, not at all.
But, all props to Morningside. But at this point, Kaiser's playing with house money.
Absolutely. I mean, like we said, there could be a case study on how Kaiser scheduled this season and how it's worked out for them this year, how they've scheduled the FCS team, two D2 teams, played up, went undefeated in NAIA play, still undefeated in NAIA play, and now they're on a roll. They are the most battle-tested team there is. They took down basically a dynasty within the playoffs. They played the best, not the best, but a perennial D2 team, a solid D2 team, and then the FCS team that has 63 scholarships.
Right. This wasn't no Pioneer FCS.
They are the most battle-tested team.
This weren't no Pioneer FCS. This were a full Scully
63.
So you can't. But the folks who say we're sleeping on Kaiser, you can't at this point. It's impossible to. I was going to wear my Morningside shirt, and then I realized that was probably a poor idea.
No, but credit to Morningside. They're always going to be accustomed to the playoffs. It's never stopped. GPAC champions still. A quarterfinal appearance. Great season for them. I know it's not how they wanted to end.
They'll be back.
But they're going to be back. Credit to them.
All right. And hang tight, and we'll be back after a word from AdCraft.
So you want to create and sell custom merch for your team or business. That's exciting, but where do you begin? How much inventory should you order? How do you distribute orders? AdCraft has your answers. Streamline the way you offer custom merch by utilizing our risk-free web store service. We ship directly to each customer, and we have the fastest turnaround in the game. Raise funds for your team or get merch to your employees and patrons. Contact AdCraft today, and let's bring your merch to life.
Well, that is the truth. Bringing your merch to life. They're doing some really neat stuff over there. Saw some a tweet today, actually. I think they were doing some North Face stuff or something like that. That was pretty cool.
I just like how fast they get it to you.
Dude,
as well.
they are fast.
They are super fast. I would never go with BSN. I would always go with AdCraft. I know BSN is the popular topic for everybody.
You know, and I thought it was interesting. The BSN had the ad right there in the middle of the Grandview game. I'm going, oh,
yeah. Even if BSN came and offered us a sponsorship, I would say no.
Yeah, we've got too good of a relationship with AdCraft. You know, I might be running out of D2 team or out of NAI teams for Leading Edge.
It's a former NAI.
This
team.
is a former NAI team.
Everybody knows that name.
Everyone knows Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls is Sioux Falls, and women's basketball. Again, we're talking about like what, 18 players max?
Yeah, at the most.
And they're getting like $1,000 a player.
Was that in an hour?
That was in an hour.
Wow.
That's
magic.
I mean, I don't know what else we can say
Wave
at
the
this
wand,
point.
you get 5 figures.
I'm not gonna sit here and go on and on about it. We know what's going on. Thank you to our friends at Leading Edge Fundraising for sponsoring our top 25 and for being just fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know who else was fantastic? Michael Dadgum's Story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been fantastic all year.
That's true.
How many times do you think he's been on our screen this year?
A lot.
A lot.
I mean,
and
now
then look at the parentheses, all in the first half.
Every single catch.
35-0.
Every single catch, every single yard, every single touchdown. I went back and looked at the play-by-play, and I verified it. That's insane.
Look at the reaction, how pumped that guy is to the back right of him.
Dude,
that should tell you everything.
Right now, I hate to call anybody besides Kaiser the hottest team.
Right, but
Northwestern's sitting there kicking rear and taking names.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, there's no quarter for anyone that Northwestern's playing right now. And I really thought about giving the entire Kaiser defensive line this, but Cameron Allen with 2 sacks and a forced fumble along with 5 tackles. My man was just the epitome of the Seahawk defensive line.
He closed down gaps, man.
I mean,
A's, B gaps, you know what I'm saying?
He was
closed down gaps.
I've never seen the Morningside offensive line that uncomfortable.
Look at those arms on that guy.
Dude, my man can push people around all daggone day.
I bet Cameron benches a lot.
We'll have to see. Will we see Kaiser in Durham? Tyler Pierce says. Oh, man.
Tyler Pierce, you would look really great in powder blue.
You know,
if they do come.
I mean, he is a Gator fan originally, so, I'm sure he has some powder blue
Tyler
somewhere.
Pierce with a big Seahawk on his shirt.
That would look fantastic.
Yeah, he would love that.
Dale Norton says Kaiser backup quarterback was a stud. Kudos to him. My man had to be a stud, stepped up, and did the thing. But, John, let's take a look at our matchups.
Let's do it.
And give our predictions on this one.
Hopefully I have a better week.
Yeah, you went 1-3.
Yeah, I've never went 1-3.
You were terrible. All right, so Grandview Kaiser. John, I'm
going to go ahead and say I'm going with Kaiser.
Are you going with Kaiser?
I'm going with Kaiser.
Do you know what happens when you pick against Grandview? I know what happens when you pick against Grandview.
And
you're not going to be there to catch the flag.
And if I'm wrong,
you will catch every bit of it.
Nope. If I'm wrong, we'll forget about this, and I'm going to give that beautiful AdCraft shirt where I picked Grandview to win the national championship.
Shane Felder family, Sullivan family.
Yeah.
Remember this.
No. So
remember this.
If I'm wrong, but I cannot go against these Florida boys right here. They are looking pretty daggum good. Imagine if Burgess is healthy, and you get a 1-2 punch. Man, as I rave about Grandview's defense, and they've been doing their part in the playoffs. They've only given up, what, Corey, 21 points in the playoffs this year?
Sounds about right.
The past 2 games, 21 points, 7 last week, 14 2 weeks before against Carroll. They're going to need some help from the offense this week. There's no way they get out of here in a low-scoring game. I just don't see it happening. I think Kaiser touches the 20s.
They're going to need Johnny Sullivan to do what I said last year and be more than a game manager. and now
Well,
I'm going to catch flack of my own.
You should, because we know Sullivan has the potential.
Oh,
just
absolutely.
to ring it out there, man.
He's
And
going to have to do it.
The stats still look great for him.
He's going to have to do it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's going to have to do it because Kaiser right now is riding high. They're playing with house money.
I'm excited to see how Grandview defends the perimeter passing.
Yeah, I'm also excited to see what they do with their inside-outside zone because that's a look that you don't get.
Right. No, you're right.
In the heart. You normally see your straight-ahead man-blocking schemes in the heart.
Yeah.
Whereas Kaiser is probably the best zone-blocking team in the NAIA.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
a reason why their premier running back won,
Sun Conference Player of the Year.
Yeah. Was he? No. St. Thomas running back wasn't
he? Farmer?
Yeah, I thought. I have to look
one
that
of
up.
The two.
One of those two, because they are both dynamic.
They're both incredible. But, oh, man. I hate picking against Grandview. I really do.
Okay.
But I got to go to the hot hand. It's the playoffs.
I will tell you this. If Johnny Sullivan has a dominating game, does he have a shot? Did he win? Who won the Hart Conference Player of the Year real quick? Look that up.
All right. We're going to do this.
Look it up. I can ramble on while you do that. Let's talk about the uniform matchup. I thought Kaiser looked absolutely
they should go color
beautiful.
On color.
Yeah, I think the red and the blue would really match. I don't know if that's something that can be done, but
let's see. Kettle got the Hart South.
Yeah, who got the Hart North?
This is the South one. If I look at the right one, it would really help. Johnny Sullivan was Player of the Year.
Okay.
So he's got to. So you're saying
point.
There's a chance.
So what I'm saying is if Johnny Sullivan comes out and dominates this game, which will be fresh on everybody's mind, he has potential to be Player of the Year in the NAIA.
He could sneak in and do it with Kettle and Dolenchek gone.
Yeah, with Dolenchek missing time, which I think he still should be in consideration. No doubt.
I totally think he should still be Player of the Year.
Kettle having a very bad game last week.
Yeah.
That's going to be fresh on everybody's mind. Sullivan has a chance to shine here.
Sullivan's going to have to shine. If he doesn't, I don't think Grandview has a shot outside of Sullivan being able to have a fantastic game. I've got to go with the hot hand. As much as it hurts me to say it, I'm going to have to go with Kaiser, and I know I'll catch flack because I'll be seeing them in the Daggum National Championship. I'll
one of the two, yeah.
I will if they give me flack, I will FaceTime you and let you catch it with me.
No, just take my shirt and just color your face out with my pick.
Oh, dear. On to the next one, Northwestern, Indiana Wesleyan. Northwestern takes over what was Morningside's spot in SP+.
This is a tough one because I went against both teams last week, and they pretty much dominated their opponents. They made me believers. But the problem is now they're going up against each other.
Gonna be a great matchup. Great
two
defense,
great
quarterbacks.
Offense. This is tough. Indiana Wesleyan's the number one defense on paper. Northwestern's right there at number 6.
They've got a good defense.
Once you get top 5, top 6, there's not too much of a difference.
There's really
in my
not.
opinion. And then Northwestern's number 1 overall SP+.
Look, I've been saying it all year long. It's the truth. Once Gramstad got the starting nod, they're a different team. Yeah. I'm going to take Northwestern to make it back to Durham.
I'm going to go with the home team.
That would be Northwestern, John.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going with the home team. I think that's the only difference. I think it's close. I think the home field advantage is what gets them through.
I don't think it's close. I think Northwestern keeps I think Northwestern keeps Northwesterning.
No way.
I thought the world.
Very close.
I thought the world of Marion's defense.
I did too. I thought the world of their offensive line as well.
And good grief.
And I still do. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah. But that's one that I think. So we
agree this week.
We agree on that one. This week. And let me tell you, if it is Kaiser, Northwestern, I'm going to start now so that I can get this in and start buggering these coaches.
Yeah.
I want a color-on-color national championship.
I'm going to tweet it now. I'm going to tweet it now.
If you're
in the chat, please go retweet this.
I love myself a good color on color game. It's just it looks so doggone good, and we need more of them. We couldn't quite get it with Lindsey Wilson and Northwestern. They had talked about it, but if it's Kaiser Northwestern, I need color on color. If it's Kaiser Indiana Wesleyan, I need color on color.
Yeah.
I need it if Kaiser makes it.
Grandview could wear. I mean, they could still do color on color if Grandview makes it. They have black uniforms.
They do.
I mean,
you could do black and red.
Red.
I don't know that.
I'm going to make it I don't care who gets it. We're going to make it happen.
Oh man. So let's take a couple of the questions here. Stephen Bugkiller asks, "Is Dolanchek a 5-year quarterback?" My man's already a 5-year quarterback.
Yeah.
He just took his COVID year. I don't think that. I don't think he's got another year.
I don't think he can come back.
I don't think so. If there's a way, Steve Ryan will find it.
Let me ask. I really wonder if there's a rule for these guys to go to the NCAA.
Oh, dude.
I wonder, because what's the rule on that? There's got to be some.
There's got to be
T2
some rule.
FCS school that is clamoring for a guy like Joe Dolanchek to walk in.
And I will say,
I wonder what's the rule on
because
that.
we haven't said it. That second touchdown that Dolanchek threw put him at 167 passing touchdowns in his career, which is most all time. Not in the NAIA level,
right.
Not at the small college level, not every. There has never been a quarterback who has played the game of football that's thrown more touchdowns than Joe Dolanchek. Not even your Uncle Rico, who could throw it over the house.
Over the mountain.
Yeah, that too. And it's crazy because you know who he took that record from?
Trent Solsma, right?
Trent Solsma.
Yeah.
So it's just you just hand the trophy off.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it is a great year, or a great time, because we know Grandview's game is going to be free.
Mm-hmm.
We know Northwestern's game is going to be free. Hot dang, we ain't gotta worry about paywalls this week.
Watching it.
So we're gonna have another. We'll see how many people come this week. I don't know how many people will come because my normal person's going to be at the game.
Right.
We will do a watch along this week, and for our patrons. So if you're not a patron, you're watching this, sign up. It's only $1 a month, and you'll get to get my comments unfiltered as we go through the games. And here's the people who, like, as of right now, qualify for that. You want to read? I've read the last few times.
I'll go ahead. DSU Cone, Darren, Bob Boone, Roger Meyer, Jeremy Vobble, Shirley Lobella, Fred Christensen, Alex Garcia, Jerry Quickle, Cordell, Ace Wellen, Marty Seabolt, Justin Cobb, Dane, Nick Ryan, Hayden Faringo, Kyle Gregory, Tyler Pierce, Justin Hoffman, Coach Steve Speakman, Coach D67, Brian Shake, Lance Damon, Frank Dolanchek, Julian Shager, Nate Sotebier, Stephen Cutler, Stephen Dale, Bolt Orama, Julie Lott, Fred Bays, Tim Burrow, and Dale Norton.
I do want to say thank you for Stephen Dale. I've got your prize at the house that I still gotta get to you, and thanks to our friend Dr. Rex as well, sending us some Indiana Wesleyan gear that's on its way. Tim Snyder mentions that Northwestern D is underappreciated all season.
I say everything about Northwestern has been underappreciated until now.
They have lived in the shadow of Morningside, and now Morningside is no longer an impediment for them.
I've learned yesterday that Marion and USF St. Francis 2015-16 took turns not winning their conference and winning the national championship. I think Northwestern has a great shot to join them.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's half of the team. Well, no, sorry. One of those teams, Northwestern, has that shot.
Yeah, they're the only
When's the last time that a team with 3 overall losses won the national championship? That is the question for the chat from me.
I bet it's the first time 3 overall losses and none of them NAIA losses.
Oh, I 100%. 100% bet that's the first time. Kaiser setting NAIA history over here.
I think it'll be if Kaiser wins this game, and they somehow make it to the national championship game, at that point, win or lose that game, I think it's a season to always remember.
Oh,
No
absolutely.
one will forget it.
And it takes me back to that game at Valdosta where this has been their stated goal all season long, even after that first loss. That was what they were talking about on the field afterward.
Yeah, they were able to reel in and realize what their goals were.
Mm-hmm.
So, impressive.
Well, if we got anybody else in the comments, drop them here. We'll take those now, but I don't get to do this very very much. I got my my women's flag finals shirt with let's see, my Falcon logo. I'm still hawing about 28-3. Still hawing about 28-3. But yeah, that was a great time. So I'm looking forward to it. That's really the next big season is flag season, and really looking forward to that with a couple new teams in Reinhardt and Bethel of Kansas and Campbellsville starting.
I hope to see, because I know notoriously NAI football players are huge at basketball games. I hope they start going out these flag football games as well.
You got to. I mean, it's going to be right on the most
right
of these
your home
folks.
turf.
Yeah, there's only a few that don't sponsor football, but that do sponsor flags. So thank you, Stephen. We definitely appreciate you. And well, if you're a patron, we'll see you on the live watch along. But otherwise, we'll see you back here next week to talk about more NAIA football.
Take care, guys.